Hi guys. I usually give it like a minute or two. Hi Gwyneth, how are you doing? Hi Sergio. I'm doing good. I have a lot of things to get done and so much, a little amount of time, but a little stressed out. But um, it has to get done. You gotta come on top when it comes to everything. Uh, Selena Flores says, Hi Sergio, hi, how are you? We have Silviana Martinez, Hola Sergio, Hola, ¿cómo estás? Aiden Jack says, Hi, how are you? I'm so excited for this live stream. I definitely need this to for it to be a little bit of a stress reliever. All Things Ross says, Hi, how are you? It's gonna be a fun Q&A, especially because it's April 1st. It's the beginning of a month, and there's so much things to get done. Aiden Jack says, I missed you. Yes, I know I didn't go to live stream last weekend. I was in Dallas, and at 7, I think I was at the mall, or I was like at the mall, and I was like, should I just live stream through my phone? And I was like, I'm not sure about reception, so I just decided not to. I felt like it was just better not to. But I'm back and I'm planning to do live streams all this month. The only date that I'm thinking that I won't is probably the 15th, and that's because I'll have family over visiting. But other than that, the 1st, the 8th, the 12th, the 22nd, and the 29th, I should be doing live streams every Friday. Sending positive for an amazing month. You as well. Summer's literally right around the corner, and summer's like the most funnest time of the year, if you ask me. I'm very excited for summer, but you gotta take care of everything now so you can have fun then. Especially this month, I'm planning for it to be one of the biggest months on the channel for the year. How was my trip to Dallas? My trip to Dallas was pretty good. I did a haul, and I bought a bunch of nice things. It was a little bit smoother than I expected. I thought Dallas was gonna be a little bit more bumpy. The ride, usually driving there is usually not that bad. 4 hours here and there is really not that bad. But the trip was good. Last call was good. The shopping was good. Seeing my friends and family was good. I had a lot of fun time, and that's usually such a good thing. Let's see. VF said, "Do you think the Gucci jacket is worth it? Uh, Also, you made it another month. Gracias a Dios. Uh, thank you. I think the Gucci jacket is worth it. It depends on what variation. I think in the smaller sizes, yes, and the larger ones, I would consider trying to buy it more in the larger sizes. If you ask, no, the smaller sizes I feel like are worth the money at full price. The larger ones I would buy pre-loved. I find that the Gucci Jackie doesn't hold as much value as the smaller ones, and so I feel like for the larger ones I would just buy them pre-loved, like a really pretty like vintagey one that you can find for like a fraction of a cost. But if I were to go right now to a Gucci store, I would probably buy what's called 1955 like little flap horse bit, or I would buy a Gucci jockey. I think it's really pretty, and it's gonna be one of their forefronts. When I went to the Houston Galleria, Houston, like not too long ago, they actually had like a lot of really jockeys on display. I really like the variations that they made this season. My favorite one is the one that they made with a little bit of crystals, and it was sheer, and it was like I think it was like Liz croc emboss or lizard. It had like some sort of exotic skin on it. That one was gorgeous. Um, I love that one because then you can get like the little like gloves that have the little rhinestones on them. I think that's so pretty. And then I think that was part of the Gucci and Balenciaga, like how they did the G's encrusted with certain pieces. I think that was really pretty. Let's see. What things do you miss about Dallas? Um, I miss a lot of things about Dallas. I miss the shopping. I definitely miss the shopping. I miss the people in Dallas, and then I miss yeah, the shopping and the people. That's what I miss about Dallas the most. I don't really miss a whole lot of things about Dallas. I feel like everything that's in Dallas is definitely here in Houston. Um, because I usually go to Dallas not too in between from each other. I usually go to Dallas for a few days and kind of get my mix in, and then I'm fine for like a little bit. And then every time I come, I'm very excited to go. And then I come back and I end up leaving satisfied with everything. But, last call and my friends and family, that's about it, is what I really miss. Everything else I can find here. Things you hate about Dallas, kind of want to move, but also love the city. Things I hate about Dallas, hate, I hate some of the people in Dallas. Some of the Dallas people can be a little bit more pretentious. Is I once I li- When I lived in the suburbs, I feel like I didn't really notice it, but once I lived in the city, I feel like there was like a lot of sense of entitlement. And Houston, it's like anything goes. It's like, girl, like if you cut me off, like I'm gonna cuss you off. Obviously, those things happen in every city, but I find like here it's a lot more casual. I feel like it's a lot more relaxed, and I feel like people um are more kind of just chilled out. And I feel like in Dallas, like some people are a little bit like creído, they're a little bit more sensed up. And for me, that's something that I didn't really like about Dallas. But other than that, the food is great, the people's great, the living is great. Let's I think that's about it. I think that's it's just sometimes some of the people can be really shitty sometimes. But other than that, I mean, I love Dallas, and any city in Texas is growing at a great rate. But I would say Dallas and Austin are definitely growing quite a lot. Um, Justin says, "Hello, Sergio. Do you think that the Toy Bursley Roswell double bag is worth it? If so, what size?" I'd probably get the classic kind of standard medium size, and I do think that the double bag is worth it. I think it's such a pretty bag. Like I love the little Lee Roswell detail right here. I love when you can open it up. I just think it's a full on beautiful leather bag. It's definitely, I would say that Lee Roswell Double, Lee Roswell Classic, and Eleanor are their kind of higher price point kind of prestige. For me, when I think of the Lee Roswell bag, the double one, I think kind of it as the version of a Coach Rogue, like their kind of prestige bag. And so for me, I do think that it's worth it. Get the classic one and like actually this one you can get kind of like a fun variation. I will say with the Lee's doubles, I really don't see a lot of them go on sale at the end of the season unless if it's super novelty. But I mean, a lot of Troy Birch bags recently had a price increase, and it wouldn't surprise me if some of the newer Lee Roswell bags start being a little bit more expensive. But I do really like the Lee Roswell, and I do think it's worth it. And Lee is definitely the next bag that I'm going to be purchasing because I bought the Lee Roswell boots, so I definitely need to get a Lee Roswell handbag. But I do think that it is worth the money. Um, Leo says, "Hi Sergio, thank you for posting all the videos lately. Thoughts on the soft Givenchy Antigona bag? Kind of tempted to get it in the small size. Oh, I love the small Antigona. I love them. I remember when we first got them. I remember doing the trucks for Nordstrom, and I remember us getting them. I am in love with them. If I were to add another Antigona, it would definitely be the soft version. They did the soft version for the 10-year anniversary of the Antigona. I'm surprised that the bag didn't take off as some other bags that went to an anniversary or like some sort of a reissue. It becomes a little bit more popular, and in a sense, that's what gravitates towards me Givenchy bags nowadays, is that they're not as popular or they're not as spoken about, other than the classic Antigona or the Pandora. It's so that's what makes me kind of gravitate towards them. So I do think it's worth it. I would say from time to time, even the black one, you can get it like a slight discount, like 10 or 15% off. I think it works with the Farfetch code. And I know sometimes like certain websites may have it, like Essence may have it for like 10 or 15% off. So I definitely do think it's worth it. I think the soft is now 19.90. I think that's the price of it. And I think that's a really great price point for a handbag. I really, really like it. And I would honestly get it in black because the Antagona collection in general, especially if you go on the pre-loved website, a lot of the colors, it doesn't wear nice over time. So I would definitely look into um, checking if the checking that the color transfer does not come off, because we would get like a lot of bags that people were trying to return because the handles or stuff would kind of like the color would kind of come off. So I would probably invest in the black one than a colored Antagona, especially in the soft, because as you wear it, it could get a little bit wear on it. Let's see. But thank you so much for your question. TD says, "Hey Sergio, new subscriber. What do you like about Houston? Why did you move here, Dallas? And when did you move here?" Um, what do I like about Houston? I like the people, and I just like how everything's a little bit more. Sorry, I think a little bit is more located centrally. Like I find that Houston is just like one city. Yes, there's like it's Houston, and there's all these other cities like Sugarland, and then you have the Woodlands, and then you have Katy, and then Cypress. But those are a little bit more further out throughout it. And so for me, I feel like it was Dallas and Fort Worth, so it was like a lot more cities. So I feel like it was a lot more bigger, a bigger hub. So I feel like I would have to drive a little bit more. And here in Houston, since it's like Houston and all these like other cities like around it, not like two big cities, I find that the driving and everything's a little bit better for me. I will say the traffic is pretty bad here, but it's not as bad as one would think. And I also wanted a change of scenery as well. I mean, I feel like I kind of done everything in Dallas. Well, you can't do everything in one city, but I experienced a lot, and I just wanted a little bit of a change. But I didn't want to commit to a long term change, something like moving to like Chicago or Miami. So I feel like Houston was, it's 4 hours away, 3.5 hours, 3:45. So I feel like it was a great commitment, but not such a big commitment. And I moved here, I think in the fall of last year. I think in November or October. I should think. I think October 31st was when I turned my lease. November 1st is when I officially moved to Houston, because my last day on my lease in Dallas was October 31st, Halloween night. And I went out that night and I had to turn in the keys the first, crazy. And so I do remember that. I remember waking up from a Halloween party and like having to kind of hurry up and take the final bits and bops from my apartment. But I like both cities, but as of now, I definitely prefer Houston. And if I were to live in Texas for another year after my lease ends, which then my lease ends here in Houston in December 31st, another kind of weird important day, then um it'll probably end up being here, or probably like Chicago or Miami or something like that. But I do really like Chicago a lot as a city. Kim Watson says, "What puffy tabby do you think is worth it? Small or large?" So the 19 or the 26. I think the larger one, the one that's 495, and the reason why is just because you can just fit a whole lot more. I think it looks prettier with the chains. I think with the tiny ones you can fit a phone and a card case, but you're very, very limited on what you can wear. It's unless you already have like a lot of handbags and you want to just add another one, and you don't need kind of like core bags, or or you genuinely don't carry a lot. Like for me, I could put my phone on the zipper. I can put my card cases, like my little wallet, and I would just leave it unzipped. And then on the front pocket, I can definitely put like my keys, and then probably like a lip balm and my AirPods, and I'm out the door. And even then, that's kind of a little bit pushing it. Versus on the larger one, I can fit a little bit more things on there, and find that the bag isn't getting damaged. Because I would find that with the other one, I find like that since the leather is very, very soft, I would find that it would kind of get wear on the bag a little too easily. and so that's why I prefer the larger one over the smaller one. And even now, if as much as I think the smaller ones are cute, I would definitely get the larger puffy tabby, just because I find that it's a little bit more convenient for just every day, and you don't have to be crushing and pushing the bag a lot. Because as much as I say I'm not going to carry a lot, sometimes you do have to carry the essentials. Um, Slime is not putty. Oh, I missed another question. April C says, "Have you ever been thrifting?" Thrifting is definitely a video plan for the month of April. Actually, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. So, I'm doing like a whole new different videos on my channel. April's definitely going to be a test run on a lot of different content that's fashion related, but just trying to see how well it's received on the channel. So thrifting is a video that I am planning to do. It has not been filmed yet. Today we were so I pretty much wrapped up my Fenty video. That one should be coming out sometime next week. Yes, girl, I did a Zara video, and that should be coming out maybe in 2 weeks from now, or a week from now. And then the thrifting should be coming like on the third or the fourth week of April. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying a lot of different content, and I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone, but that's still kind of related to me and related to the channel. But I have been thrifting like when I was younger, and like garage sales and going to thrift stores. Like I actually know good thrift stores in Fort Worth and like in Arlington and stuff like that, in Dallas. But it's been quite a while. But I definitely do want to get into. I want to go into like try to find an outfit, like kind of like a challenge video, with not necessarily like a challenge, but you know what I mean. Just try to have fun with thrifting and kind of see what I could find. But yes, I will be getting into it, and that's going to be a video that I will be posting on the channel soon. But I have been thrifting and I do like it. Okay, slime is not putty said your new Tory Burch Fleming that looks amazing. I love my Fleming. I feel like I'm actually looking at it like in front of me. I was filming a video and I have like all these bags and like I just kind of put them all in a table, and I can see it through the ring light, and it's I love it so much. At first I was like, should I have not purchased it? Should I purchased it? And I thought it was a really great decision, because now I have a Fleming into my collection, and I think it was a really great choice, and I love the bag. April C says, "Do you have a stowed bag?" I used to have the moon bag, but then I ended up not. I didn't ever really use it. I had it for like I think 2 seasons, and I only reached for it one time. I remember I only used it at Pluckers one time, excuse me, and then other than that, I never went back to using it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of it, and so I got rid of it, and then came out with a smaller size, which I prefer a lot more. So I will add stowed back into my collection, not sooner rather than later. In tomorrow's video, I'll explain about all kind of like the contemporary bags and kind of my change in my thought process on designer bags, and ultimately why I prefer contemporary bags a little bit more. But I do love stowed bags, and it's a brand definitely to look out for. And I did mention stowed bags last month on my channel on my favorite handbags in the contemporary space for spring and summer under 500. I think it's called the Tommy beaded handbag. What would you recommend someone to get as their first designer bag? Oh, that's another video that I filmed very recently. That video should come out later this week. Um, I would think for a tote, a Christian Louboutin Cabata tote. I think the Gucci Ophidia tote. I think Prada nylon 2005. I think a Gucci Soho Disco. A Saint Laurent Lou crossbody, the one that you can also double flap it. I think that's a really great one. What else did I have on that list? The Alexander McQueen skull bag, like the little small one. I think that's a really cute crossbody that I don't see a lot of people have. I did mention a lot of great bags. Well, I kind of broke it up into crossbodies and totes, just so it's a little bit more easier. But those are some of my favorite bags I would recommend as a first one. The Saint Laurent K is also a really great one. I would stick to probably like YSL. I think Gucci's pretty classic for the price point, And I think this, or even like some of the newer Celine ones with like if you do like a good monogram or you do like a good like a little bit of branding, some of the smaller Celine bags have been really really cute lately, and I find that the price point isn't really that bad compared to some of the other designer brands that are out there. But it's also not leather; it's coated. It's coated canvas. But there's some of the ones that I would recommend that I like. Um, Giselle G says, "Hey Sergio, do you have any car buying advice?" When I bought my car last year, I think in April or May, basically I went in and I offered. I was like, "Well, this is my credit score. It was already kind of run, and I already kind of know what I wanted." And they tried to make me put like all these different insurances on it. And they were like, "Well, you need them. You need them." I think like gap insurance. I did get the gap insurance because I do think it will, especially in the back of my mind, I knew I wanted to live in Houston. I said, "Well, girl, what happens if my car gets flooded?" You know what I mean? So I did get that, but I remember they wanted me to get like a under 21. They wanted me to spend so much money on insurance, like one that's out of warranty. And I was with my dad, and my mom was just kind of telling me like, "Oh, you should get it, mijo. Like you never know." I'm like, "Girl, it's a Toyota." Like I ended up getting a Toyota. I'm like, "Girl, the Toyota I had before, girl, I rent it. Like I would go through Grand Prairie and Dallas like for 3 years, going back and forth, working at Nordstrom, commuting like 35 minutes plus every single time. So an hour and just driving, and I never had any issues. So I said, I highly doubt this Toyota doesn't have any issues. And like, knock on wood, I didn't have any issues. And then I tried negotiating with the lady, and the lady was just like kind of not here for it. She was kind of like she was kind of like a very, uh, she I don't know how to say it without it not coming across the wrong way. She was just like one of those like very aggressive women, like females. Like she was very, very, very aggressive. Like and so she just kind of was so aggressive. And I said, you know what? I just walked off. And so because and then I texted the girl and I was like, "Oh, I kind of want the car siempre see." And she's like, "Well, I'm already off." And so I was like, "Okay." And so she left, and I went to another person, and the other person came up to me and I told them what I wanted. And this was the same day. Like I did not care. I did not care. I went to the same day, and I acted like I didn't see anything. Like I said, "Oh, I think I saw it with some person, like whatever." And that guy took off the insurance because the girl did not want to take off the insurance, and she didn't want my asking price. I went in there, and the guy, he hooked it up. He was a homeboy. Like I did not know him, but he took off everything that I did not want. Like I saved myself about $4,000 in insurances. I only kept the gap insurance, and I everything got to be by my book and my rules. And I got everything I wanted. So I would just say, especially now that cars are more expensive, my car is even worth like a little bit more than when I bought it, just because like automobile parts and stuff are a little bit expensive, and things are kind of hard to come by, even now 2 years post COVID. But I would just say wait patiently, and it's not something that's going to happen like right then and there. In my case, it kind of did. I mean, I was already kind of looking around, but I'm also kind of passive aggressive. I'm a little bit, versus like my parents are a little bit more aggressive. Like I kind of made my parents kind of do the talking, and like what didn't work out for you, I'm gonna do it. And so I kind of became like aggressive sales mode of a person. I mean, at the end of the day, you're gonna get a commission. So from me. So I mean, let's just work it out together. And the guy did everything that I told him I wanted. He gave it to me. But just take your time and just walk away too. And it is true to buy it at the end of the month, because I believe I bought my car like right towards the end of the month as well. But yeah, just be patient. And if you are buying pre-loved cars, which I did, buy them from certified retailers. I would not go and buy it from like some random person off of Craigslist. I just wouldn't. The first one I bought from Don Davis when I was in high school, I was like 15 or 16. I think I didn't even have my license yet. And I got it because I had the cash in I put it under my dad's title, which is probably, it still is like, even though it's my car, it's under theirs. And then for this one, it's I bought it last year, so I was 20, and then I put it. It's my car, it's under me. Oh my god, I took a little bit too much time on that, but hopefully that answers your question. Erica says, Sergio, I love Houston. I love Houston too. I think Houston is the best city in Texas. I think it's the one that gets the lit most. I think there's so much going on. I love, 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 love Houston, and I would not trade it in for the world. Um, are you from Houston? Or are you from Texas? Or are you from somewhere else, like in the U.S.? I would definitely would love to know. This is from Erica Garrett. Burberry says on the fence between mini black Bottega Jody and Prada black pannier, but Prada is beyond expensive. Get the Jody, and I feel, and let me tell you why. I think that the Bottega Veneta Jody is a really great choice because it goes. So you just need a black classic bag, and you just want something maybe with your out. You want your outfit to be talking. You want something else, or your outfit to do the talking. And you just need a bag that complements the outfit, to complement the blouse, to complement your shoes. And so I find that sometimes you need a classic black bag to take away from it so you can kind of wear your outfits. And I think the Jody, I've loved it ever since. I'm gonna probably gonna wear mine later tonight for dinner. I get so much wear out of it. I get so much use out of it. It's my most used bag. It's been trash. It's been thrown around. It's been with me every single trip, and I get nothing but compliments on my Jody. I think it's worth it, and I really don't carry a lot, especially at nighttime, and I never have to worry about it being too flash or it being inappropriate sometimes in certain social settings. I just like that it's just a nice quality woven designer handbag. Um, I find that the Prada pannier may come and go. I find that it may be a style that won't be around, but I know for sure for the Jody, it's even successful now. They're selling it like crazy. I know that it's going to be even a little bit more popular initially since I bought it 2 years ago, and they keep coming them in a lot of fun colorways. I would honestly get the black, but that is a bag that you can get colors, and the colors would wear really nice. Um, Michelle Tate says, I've been obsessed with my Neo Longchamp ever, even though it's getting discontinued. After so many high price brands, I just feel better being content with the small designer collection I have. Oh, I did not know that the Neo Longchamp, Neo Longchamp is the one that's like, I think it's this collection. Hold up, I'm gonna bring the bag. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think this is the club, I believe, right? So this is the club. I think that the Neo one is this one. This is getting discontinued. This is getting discontinued. This is my favorite version of Longchamp nylon. The classic one I do like, but it would never wear as nice as this. I use this in Dallas and I use it as my toiletry bag. As you can see, it's all dirty. I actually have to get it cleaned. I've used this as a regular bag. I use it as a travel bag. I've used it as so many different things. I cannot believe this is getting discontinued. This is actually one of my favorite nylon bags. You know, guys, I have a lot of nylon bags, and I love this. I bought this. This is one of the first things I bought when I had 33% off at Nordstrom, and I love this bag. I love, love, love this nylon long shop. That's sad. I did not know that was getting discontinued. Oh, dang, that's crazy. I mean, I love this. Um, and then you said you're being content with the small designer collection. That's actually tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video, I'm actually talking about the price increases and just how I feel all these designer handbags is being thrown in my face, and why you really haven't been seeing. Like, I've been buying designer shoes and designer clothes. Like that, I kind of always kind of preferred that than the handbags, and also it's like a little bit more economically sense. Like, designer clothes usually go on sale for like 80, 90% off, 70% off, and same for shoes. Like my Elias sneakers, I literally got them at like Neiman's, not even Neiman's last call, for 80% off, and I love them. But I'm also really content with my designer collection. And you also said, do you think you'll ever be content with your collection? Do you think you'll have a revolving collection? For me, since I do since I do YouTube, and I always have to kind of give my thoughts and my reviews, and it's something that I love. Sometimes I kind of put myself in a aspect where I see it more as not necessarily as a job, but more as a hobby. So I will always kind of be kind of chasing for that next bag, but not as I used to. I think you guys know, like, I used to buy bags all the time, used to be more crazy. I'm a little bit more thoughtful in my purchases, but I'm also into other bags that are a little bit more low key. Like, I've been liking like other brands that I haven't talked about, like Stowed, Pinko bags, even like Longchamp leather bags. There's a lot more beautiful Brahmin, Junie Burke. Like I just feel like I'm kind of in love with contemporary bags all over again. I find that I always go through stages, but I've always preferred contemporary brands. I find for designer, I'm definitely going to be a lot more thorough, and I'm not going to be purchasing as much designer handbags as I once did. I think I'm more content with my contemporary bags, and honestly, to be honest, a lot of these contemporary bags are a lot more well made than a lot of these designer handbags. And also, I never really considered the pre-love market a whole lot. You know, growing up, I would, and I feel like a lot of these prices I can honestly just buy on the pre-love market, like on Fashion Files. So I really want an Alaya bag, and so I think the Alaya bags, there's a lot of pretty ones on Fashion File for like under $800. So I would much rather buy it and a Alaya bag through Fashion File and kind of have like a deal versus buying it brand new. But I think the direction of the brands and the styles and everything that I buy in designer is just changing. You can kind of see that changing to my channel, like the big kind of louder items. I may have pieces like that here and there, but it's kind of changing to a little bit more of a niche and kind of things that I like a little bit more. Um, but I think I will always have a revolving collection, just because it's something that I love and have passion for. But it's not going to be as excessive as it once was, or just as spontaneous as it once was. Selena Flores says, "Is the Toy Birds extra 30% off still happening?" It ended on Tuesday, so it already ended. But they should be having a new one pretty soon. I know they should be having some sort of promo for Mother's Day, and Coach should be having a sale too, usually around Mother's Day, which is next month. They usually have really great specials. I know, especially at the outlet too. I know Twibbert just opened their Mother's Day shop yesterday or today, and so I know usually do a little bit of good deals on it. But the 30% off did already end, and that ended on Wednesday. That's funny because my aunt asked me, because this time around was a private event, so like you had to had an email, which I thought was kind of weird because they never done that. And so I just gave my aunt my login, like I was like my password thing, so you can just order everything that you want and then just ship it to yourself. But it did end on Tuesday. Burberry says it seems that there is a price increase for the Marc Jacobs mini tote bag. It's $8.95 on Farfetch. Oh, I don't. Oh, I did not know that it went up that much. It may. I mean, I know you live in Canada. I know you have told me that before.
Hi guys, I'm Molly Dixon.
Oh, that was the video. That was what you. No, it may have just been a certain style, or maybe like the larger leather ones, but even converted into, like, it's 550 for the large one. It may just be just a certain style and through the conversion rate. I know sometimes with the conversion rates on Farfetch, some items can be a little bit more expensive here than like going into like Neiman's or Nordstrom or buying it, and some things can be a lot less than buying it at Neiman's or Nordstrom. So it really depends, because at the end of the day, Farfetch is more of a marketplace than like an actual store with all the prices. Do you still have the Dior saddlebag, the monogram Dior saddlebag? If so, do you still like it? No, I sold my saddlebag like 2 years ago. I bought it during COVID. Like literally, I remember it was probably such a dumb decision. I don't do that much dumb decisions as I used to. I was 19. I bought it right like during COVID. Like I remember the day that it happened. I was at my friend's house. She had just had her baby. Her baby was like I think 2 months old, and I was like, should I buy it? And not me thinking about the future. I thought this was gonna be over. Like I was like, girl, this is just gonna pass by. Like people were like washing their groceries like from Walmart and like washing the cereal box and all that stuff. I was like, girl, y'all are doing too much. And so I ended up buying it on Fashion File. And I got it for like a decent price, because whenever I sold it, you know how like when you sell it back for 25% off, like less than what you paid for. I let that time frame expire, and they actually offered me more than what I paid for the bag and the strap. So I actually kind of like made a little profit, like maybe like $100, and I used the bag. No, I sold it, and it's just because I didn't really care for the monogram a lot, and also the hardware where it had the CD. It started like as you put in the strap over time, the strap with the clasp, as you wear it, it just scratches it, and part of the hardware was already kind of coming off, like the metal, and it started having like a little bit of pinky color on it. And I already did buy it pre-loved too, so whoever had it probably got good wear on it. If I were to buy the Dior saddlebag again, I'd probably buy it pre-loved, and I'd probably buy a solid color. I prefer the solid colors, and Also, I didn't really have a lot of enjoyment using it because I felt like I was gonna get it dirty. I did love my Dior saddlebag the time that I had it, but honestly, there's other bags that I would prefer to buy now. I find that for me, the Dior saddlebag and the Dior book tote, for me, it's kind of like I've already had it. So for me, I don't really want to revisit it. But I do really want a Dior, Lady Dior bag, probably vintage, like a patent one, like a larger one, so bad. Um, what's the best contemporary handbag brand if luxury bags are not affordable? Quality, pull-in, and Longchamp. Um, I think you cannot compare those two. Like I think when I think of quality contemporary handbag, and there's so many brands. I could say Toy Bird. Oh, actually, I could say like obviously like Toy Bird, Kate Spade, Rag and Bone. There's so many brands, but honestly, we're gonna put three brands: Coach, full price handbags, because they're a little bit different than the outlets. Pull in handbags across the board, and Longchamp bags, either nylons or leather across the board. If you want the best quality handbags, those three brands is what I would recommend. And I love all those three brands. I mean, obviously, there's so many other brands that I'm missing out, but excuse me, but those three brands. If you're looking for a great one, especially Longchamp has come out with like a lot of pretty like little pochette bags. Like I was walking through the Longchamp store at North Park, and I was gonna, instead of the C by Chloe bag with for my Farfetch club, I was actually gonna get a Longchamp leather smaller bag, which I felt like I shouldn't have done, but I should have gotten the Longchamp one. But I actually relate the Chloe one. The Chloe one's always one that I wanted, so I don't regret it. But I do want to buy a leather Longchamp bag. It's so pretty, it's so gorgeous. But I would say those three handbag companies or brands are really great. And then I would also throw in, I mean, there's a lot of them are really great, but I would say those three are like the ones that I really like. I could also say like other brands, but those are the ones that I would say I really, 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 really like. Um, does Farfetch offer 15% off even as a second time shopper? I'm confused because discount code's only for the first timers. As of now, yes. So the code that I have right now, Sergio 15, is for new and existing users, but that promotion ends on April 4th. And then after April 4th, I because we all content creators got our emails through corporate through Farfetch, and so the code is actually going to drop to 10% off starting April 5th. So if you do guys want the Farfetch code for new and current users, Sergio 15, I would do it before April 4th, because it's going to drop down to 10, and that's for every content creator across the board. I'm not sure why they're doing that, but that's what I was told via email. So I do have to make that adjustment on that YouTube video that I posted, and I'll let you guys know on Instagram as well. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I highly, highly suggest it. But this code, you can. I know certain codes are for only new users, but for this code that a lot of people have this time around, it's for current users as well. I love my Gucci jacket. It's really versatile because you can attach the extra extension to our crossbody. Um, See, I do. That's why I like that one versus, let's say, like a Dior saddlebag, because it comes already with the strap versus you have to pay $1,200 for a Dior strap. The Dior bag's already expensive, so you're talking about what, like a Dior oblique saddlebag is like 38 plus strap. That's what, $5,000. That's a lot of money for a Dior saddlebag. That's a lot of money. What do you think about the Prada puddle or onion bag? I don't know. Let's look it up. I probably have already seen pictures of the handbag, but let's go ahead and see. Prada puddle or onion bag? Well, I haven't. I mean, maybe you mean the shoes like a Prada puddle because nothing popped up with that. Nothing popped up for that one, babe. Um, for that one, maybe the shoes. Um, let's see, or the Monster Gabriel drawstring tote bag. The Monster Gabriel drawstring tote bag I like. I just feel like sometimes a lot of Monster Gabriel bags are a little bit more on the delicate side when it comes to leather. I find that they don't wear as nicely as some of the other brands. And so for me, I'm very kind of iffy on Monster Gabriel just because some of their bags, like they're nice quality, but it's a little bit more of a softer leather. Giselle says, "Hey Sergio, thank you for the advice. I'm looking for Toyota RAV4 too. Now cars are so expensive. I have to be very careful. I would buy from a certified dealership as well. Um, I don't know if you live in Texas. I bought my car from, I think it's called Eco Park. They have one here in Houston. I think they have two in Dallas. And they say that they don't negotiate prices. Girl, they do. Like, it just depends the person that you get. And like the first lady that I got, she was just so aggressive. She was not like her and my dad were bumping heads a lot. And like she was like, no, okay, well, because my dad's like, okay, then we're gonna walk away. And she was like, okay, I don't care, bye. And so I was like, oh hell no. I said, this lady's not gonna get my commission, like whatever. And so I gave it to somebody else, and I made sure that he got it. I said, you better get it, like whatever. And no, he like told me and like gave me the rundown that he got the commission for it. But yeah, cars are very expensive. I have a CHR, so it's not too far off from a RAV4. A RAV4 is a little bit bigger, but um, yeah, you have to be a little bit careful. These companies are trying to be chisty, but as long as you have a fun grip, you have to have a grip in car. I know a lot of people are a little bit more softies when it comes with it. You have to have a little bit more of a grip, and I had a little bit more of a grip on it, and I think that's what's gonna help you out in the long run. Because at the end of the day, it's your money. You're gonna be the one paying for it, not them. They're there to sell you an item, just like a designer sales associate. They don't. They at the end of the day, they're just trying to sell you the bag. At the end of the day, no matter how nice you could be. Yeah, be careful with used car dealerships. Lena says, "Hey from Atlanta, just ordered an Ella bag. The one you have, can't wait to get it. Um, Hopefully you love your Ella bag. I've had mine, my nylon one, for 2 years. It's been holding up pretty well. It was actually where all the so I moved all my winter clothes like on one of the sides of the closet. Now I'm needing like I need more closet space. I actually am running out of hangers now. But I have it like right there, and then I have all my nylon bags. And I mean, if I like I said, if I'm not reaching for something, I let go of it. But my Ella tote, I love it. I love it. And you're gonna love it just as much as I do. I get a lot of wear on it, and it's also a really good travel bag. The nylon variations, or I don't know if you got the like a fabric one, but they're both really great. And it's gonna be perfect for every day. Makeup by Angel 101. What do you do for work now? As of now, I do YouTube kind of full. I know I do YouTube full time. And kind of like social media. Like I post things like on LTK, and then I get like sponsorships here and there, like a little bit smaller ones. I would say this year I've gotten like a lot more opportunities, like as far as sponsorship wise, than I ever thought before. And I have a few of them in the mix right now. I'm actually wearing something that's for a future video, like in my bottoms. But Right now I do YouTube full time, which I actually really like. It's definitely has kept me a little bit more. I feel like I kind of drifted off a little bit because I feel like I was kind of like I don't know, like living the life, but I'm kind of came back to reality now, like the last couple of weeks, and I feel really great. And I've also been kind of like detoxing and kind of getting rid of a lot of, bad energy. But yes, right now I do YouTube. Chris Kino says, "Hey, Sergio, I like your channel and admire how much you accomplished at such a young age. Not only talk about material, but attitude and discipline." Oh, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it. For me, I feel like it also has to do with like a lot of the music that I listen to. Like, I feel like if like everybody wants to be something, everybody wants to shine, everybody wants this, but no one wants to work for it. Nobody wants to put, nobody wants to work on it. Like today, I literally have been up since 5 in the morning. I was working out at 5 in the morning, and I've just been, running, filming videos, today I filmed 3 videos, and I still have one more to film before I even decide to even have dinner or to even like invite my friends over or something. I have to get that done because I have that self-discipline, but then I have to edit all those videos and have to reply to all these emails. And then um, later on this week, I believe on Sunday or Monday, I have to go and shoot a few outfits. And girl, I'm right there with my little stand right here, in front of all these strangers looking at me taking pictures. Like obviously it's not like manual labor, but it's like it's a lot. People think that a YouTube video is just 1 2 3 easy boom. There's a lot of context. And now that I'm starting to kind of get like sponsorships, now that I'm starting to work with a little bit more brands, I kind of see how things are not like things are a little bit more hard. And also me, like I'm not. I think I have like the I can read but I have I have writing skills and grammar skills as like a seventh grader. Like my grammar skills are shit, and so now I have to like learn like how to do certain grammar and stuff like that. Things that I didn't learn in high school. Like I was like a little bit illiterate, but I also graduated super early, so I rushed. I like basically wanted to graduate as quick as possible. So there's a lot of things because one thing about me, especially with brands or like with like companies or with like subscribers, if you make a promise you have to keep it. Because and then like if I'm bad with somebody, then you have to then it overshadows something. So let's say I do a sponsorship, this is just hypothetically speaking, let's say with, I don't know, Express, and it's through an agency. And let's say I didn't fall through, I was behind, or I didn't submit it till a week later, and then the next campaign they're not even considering me. They're gonna be like, "Oh, how was this person? Did you like them?" And they're gonna say, "No, girl, do not work with them." And you kind of go around as like not somebody to work with. So you have to make sure everything that you do is also good. And then even when you go out and about, you have to be nice. You can't be like lashing out. You never know who's watching. You never know who's sitting. Like the other day, I was literally at the gym and I literally had met a subscriber. She was really nice. She was really sweet. But like what I'm trying to say is like you never know who you meet as far as a subscriber. And I like that I'm always kind of in check in a way. Or the other day I was at Target and I met a subscriber. Like I literally have my whole AirPods on, and I don't mind it. You guys can always come up to me, girl. I don't care. I could be like on a date, and you can come up to me. I don't. That does not bother me. But what I'm trying to say is like, you just have to be disciplined, and you have to carry yourself a certain way, especially if you want to get ahead. But thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it. Um, I got a Saint Laurent Rive Gouche leather tote, and it works so well for me. 100% recommend. It's so good for travel and not too flashy for work either. Oh, I love that tote. I think that leather tote's a lot better than the classic Saint Laurent tote. That's 1,090. I think that the Reeve one, I think it's a little bit more. First of all, I think that it's a little bit larger, and I find that it's a little bit more reinforced than some of the other Saint Laurent totes. I'm glad that you really like it. It kind of gives me kind of like a Dior book tote vibes, like the leather one, but it gives me more of I don't know. I think the Saint Laurent one does more to me than the Dior book tote. I find that the Saint Laurent also has like a little bit more structure than the Dior book tote leather one. But that's good to hear. I didn't. I know I've seen the leather totes around, but I haven't had it. I haven't heard anything. Uh, I haven't heard anyone talk about it. So I'm glad that you like it. So now I know. So when people tell me if it's a good bag, well, I could say, well, Giselle said that she liked it and that she has it. Kira Miller says, "Hi Sergio, any suggestions for a small leather purple bag?" Purple bag. I would say the Coach pillow did come in purple, but let's do a little Google search. Let's do PR her and let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can find. Yeah, actually, this one. Oh, they actually have a new variation of purple. I think this is so cute. If you do want a small little leather purple one, I think that this color purple is so pretty, and I like the gunmetal hardware on that one. I like that one, and then um, oh, this one's cute too. This one right here. This is another one that I would recommend. Even though I did say the Monster Gabriel bags are soft, this one isn't as soft as some of the other ones. The little clutch, the one that looks like a little bit of a Bottega pouch, the cloud pouch is I also think is a really pretty one. But I'll do the Coach one. I actually really like the Coach one. This one's 545. The Coach one is 395. I will say Coach has now had a price increase on the bags, which I appreciate that. Um, but I would get the pillow bag. I really like that one. Um, I regret returning my longshot purchases. It was just piling up, and to think I would really suit Bottega. I'm starting to realize I lean towards tweed and woven leather. Uh, yeah, well, I do remember you said you did buy like longshot bags in like winners last year, and that you were like asking me if you should keep it or return it. I think I think Longchamp is a nice brand. I always like it. But like I said, I like a little bit of everything. But woven leather, I've always been a big fan of because it has like a nice texture. It has like a lot of nice detail towards it, but it's just like um it's still luxurious, but it's not as your face. Like a lot of woven leather bags don't really have like a lot of branding on them. I love my longshot neos. That's a bummer if it's being discontinued. I think I did see a YouTuber, now that I think about it. I think it's Catwalk or something in the city, like something like that. I did hear she like put about it, and like she said, well, Bloomingdale still has them on the website, that the Longchamp website doesn't have it. Though that kind of makes sense why I could kind of been seeing a lot of the noise a lot in TJ Maxx a lot recently. That's probably why. But I mean, I don't know why, because that honestly, I prefer this one over the club. Like the club, I like it. It's a nice nylon, but I definitely prefer this variation of Longchamps way better than this one. I love the clubs, but I prefer this one right here. I think that this one's really great. I love the zipper and everything. But I mean, if it really is discontinued, I'm gonna be really sad because I actually really like this variation of Longchamp bag a lot. Um, what's your favorite Louis Vuitton bag? I do have my favorite Louis Vuitton bags, but if I were to pick two, I would pick for leather. I would pick the Louis Vuitton Capucines bag. I think that the Louis Vuitton Capucines bag is a gorgeous. I think it's so beautiful. I think like I just love that bag so much. I'll definitely buy pre-loved. And as far as a canvas one, oh my god, a Louis Vuitton Alma. I would probably get it in the BB size, and that's something that I would still buy brand new. Can you believe that the Louis Vuitton Alma BB is is less expensive than the Louis Vuitton Neverfull? I find that there's like more craftsmanship in the Alma. I love the Louis Vuitton Alma bag. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's so classic. Like especially like the bottom, if you get the monogram, has like a little bit of wear through the vachetta leather. It has a good patina. Oh my god, beautiful bag. And I also like the Pochette Matisse. I'm not gonna lie, I've always been the fan of the Pochette Matisse, but I would definitely get it in the leather versus the like the coated canvas. Um, do you do you think that the Farfetch boutiques vary in pricing? Yes, because I'll see certain like. I mean, let's say Anina being sweatshirts, I'll see some that are like 202, and then I'll see some that are like the actual MSRP, which is like 169, or I'll see like Tory Burch bags that are a lot more expensive. But I also have to keep in mind that like a lot of American brands like Coach and like Tory Burch and Michael Kors, all those brands are always going to be a little bit, not always, but for the most part, they're going to be a little bit more expensive than the prices, because those boutiques are European boutiques. So since they're European boutiques, American brands are going to be a little bit more expensive, and then vice versa here. Some of the European brands are a lot less on the Farfetch website or Farfetch app than here because they're a European brand. They're not an American brand. So sorry, and they're getting shipped from overseas. So it does vary from brand to brand and from vendor to vendor, like the companies that ship it from. But I always kind of do my research, especially if it's not a brand that I'm not familiar with. I always make sure what the actual MSRP is to make sure I'm not paying any more or any less. But you can find things that are a little bit less or even a lot more on the Farfetch app. You just have to do your research. But for the more established designers like your Valentinos, your Gucci's, and your Pradas, those ones are usually the same price. But more of like the smaller brands or maybe not as like big heritage brands, you can kind of play around with prices. And especially if you have a discount code, it definitely makes it a whole lot worth it. Let's see. I ordered the Kira Mini Kira in the new cream color using your 15% off Farfetch code. This is Monica Leo. Oh, that's good that you used it. And was it at retail or was it under retail? Or because sometimes it kind of varies. Um, but yes, I'm super happy you got it. Oh, I love Kira. I love my little Kira vanity bag. I actually was thinking about wearing it today, but let me know how you like it when you get it. Usually, Farfetch shipping isn't that it doesn't take a long time. Usually comes pretty fast. Can I use the 15% off for a designer Bottega Veneta Jody? I think Bottega Veneta is excluded. I would try to see if it works. I know it works on Saint Laurent and I know it works on other designer brands, but I know for sure on Prada and Gucci and Valentino and Acne Studios, it doesn't work on it and like a little bit more. But I would see. I know it works on McQueen. I'll try to see if it lets you. It just honestly depends, because the designer exclusions, it always changes all the time. Um, but I would try to see. I would try to add it in car and try using it and see if it works. Love Flame says, "What do you think about the new kind of Tofar bags? I've been copying out such as the circle bag collab with Eastpak. I do like the collab with Eastpak, but the circle bag I was gonna buy it, but it was like let me see. I was gonna buy it, but I don't know. When I saw it, I was like, it was $567, and it's a final sale when you buy the bag. I thought the bag was maybe because compared to his other bags, I know they're tote bags are a little bit more easier. I thought the circle bag was gonna be maybe no more than 450, but 567 for a vegan leather bag. I thought, and it was like such a weird number of 560. I thought that was like a little too expensive. When I was gonna buy, I was like, you know what? If it's like 450, $400, like I'll buy it. But when I saw 567, I'm like, girl, this is $600 with tax. I decided not to buy it. I feel like there was other bags that I would prioritize. I know so far it's a smaller company compared to a lot more of these heritage brands in the contemporary and designer space, but I just felt like for it to be final sales, for it to be vegan leather, I just feel like it wasn't worth almost $600 with tax. I think it's a nice bag. I think it's so pretty, but 567 for me was a little bit too steep, and that's why I didn't end up getting it. And especially like the UGG collab was a beautiful collab, and the price point on those were really great. The Eastpak collection, I like the Eastpak. I think that was a really great collab. And what was the other one that he did? Like the I think like a nylon collab that he did in the winter too. That was another one that I did like. It was like a coat brand, I think. That was a really great one. But the circle one, I do love that bag a lot. But I don't know. I think 567 for me, it was a little too steep. I was like, like I said, 450 where I was gonna be capped out. Oh, thank you for telling me about Monster Gabriel. Yes, Monster Gabriel uh is very much. I like them, but certain leathers are a little bit too soft. So I always tell people look at them in store and look at the conditions with them. Look at the conditions in store, especially in department stores. The conditions that you see the bags in the department stores is gonna tell you how it's gonna wear over time. And the boutiques is different because boutiques they can just damage one out, but department stores they're a little bit more stingy on like damaging out bags. So you could think about a little bit like you can kind of see how a bag's gonna wear a little bit more. Maribel says, I'm considering purchasing Benisa Bucci's bags. Your thoughts? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know what bag you have, brand you saw. Uh, when I was in Dallas last week and I saw Nordstrom bought heavily into this brand. Like there was so much of it. Um, I would say I personally right now wouldn't buy one just because they're a little bit too of a fancy occasion for me. I think my lifestyle's a little bit too casual for that, even though I do dress up in blazers and jackets and stuff. I just feel like they're a little bit too um, dressed up. I do think that they're pretty, but I would probably go for me. I would probably if I'm spending buying a special evening bag, I'd probably go for a Jimmy Choo or maybe another brand. I do think that they are pretty, but I don't know. I feel like for me, I could see this bag kind of come and go, so I probably wouldn't purchase it. When when we had them at Nordstrom, I mean, I did like them. They're pretty nice quality, but I don't know about me spending that much money um, for that type of bag. But I do think they're nice. But also, if you already have like a lot of nice and like classic and nice foundation of handbags, then I think it is a great bag to add because it's something that's fun, something you could use, something that's different. But for me, I probably wouldn't. I'll probably even go for like a Kogaya versus that brand. But I do like that brand. I think they are really pretty. But I personally probably would not go for it. But I do like the bags a lot. I think they are pretty. Ali Kitchen says, I love watching your vlogs. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Um, let's see. Um, Maria says, love how humble you are. No te olvidas de tu español and like that. Y gracias a Dios que te va muy bien. Besties, wishes y bendiciones. Oh, gracias, Maria, gracias. No, a mí nunca se me olvida el español. A veces sí se me olvidan las cosas. I feel like soy like, a veces like mis primos and mis friends me dicen, oh, Sergio, eres un no sabo kid, no sabo kid. pues yo les digo, les digo, pues cabrones, ustedes me entienden lo que estoy diciendo. Mejor no le digo 100%, pero me entienden lo que te digo. At least yo trato, porque there's a lot of people that speak Spanish, but they just choose not to. My Spanish may not be perfect al 100%, but at least I try. I try, and so I think that's what matters. But the more Spanish I speak, I feel like the better I get on it. I would say I do know how to read in Spanish, but writing and like kind of like punctuation and all that stuff, um, I'm not good at that. Even in Spanish class, I was awful. There's 41 of you guys. So you guys can give this video a thumbs up. I would definitely appreciate it. Um, let's put Nicholas put little hearts. Sorry, I confused the Prada and the Bottega onion type bag. The Bottega mini toe and the Sposa leather is oh, the Bottega onion type bag. Oh, like the like the little the one that has the little thingies on it. Oh, I like it, but actually it is a bag that I would get. At first I was kind of hating on it, but I saw it in person. It's really cute. But knowing me, I feel like it would get tugged at something and one of those little things would get ripped. And the Spalazzo leather. Oh, okay, okay. But I think the onion type bag, I think you're talking about the one that goes like that with the little loops on it. I do like it, but I don't know. I like it, but I don't know. I feel like it would get tugged at something, knowing me and how I am. Susan Andrews says, "Hey Sergio, what are your plans tonight? I think I'm gonna have dinner with some of my friends. Probably like around 10 or 10:30. I actually like to have late dinners, and then I'll probably probably after this live stream, what I'll probably do is I ran out of Celsius energy drinks and I ran out of Red Bulls. I've been not trying to drink as much Red Bulls, but today's just been so jam packed. Before I went to live stream, I took like a 30-minute power nap just because I was up since 5, and I was like, well, it's already 6 before I went to live stream. So like I've been up for like 11 hours. I mean 13 hours. So let me take a nap, and so then I'm gonna do this live stream, and I'll probably go buy. I'll probably run to like HEB and buy like a few like groceries things, and then I'll probably um, edit. I'll probably end up um, mm, I'll probably end up doing that, and I'll probably come back and filming a video, and then I'll probably end up having dinner or something, probably like around 10 or 10:30. But once this live stream is done, I'm already like showered and everything to go, and so all I have to do is just change. Like right now, I'm just wearing denim and a t-shirt, but I think what I'm gonna wear tonight. So I did do like this Zara video, which you'll see next week. Uh, I bought this jacket, and this is like a sneak peek for you guys. Like I did buy like a few bits and bobs of clothing. I'm gonna wear this crop blazer. I think it's super super cute, and I know you guys are gonna come for me. I don't shop at Zara. It's a new series on my channel, so because all you guys have requested for me to show you like great quality items from Zara. I feel like this one was pretty decent quality, and I'm gonna wear this one with some jeans and like some sneakers. But I just love it. I feel like it was so different, and so yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to the grocery store, and then which my HEB is not that far away from me. I think it's like 7 minutes away, and then I'll probably come back and film a video, and then call my friends, see what they're doing, and then probably just come back and like probably work till like 2 in the morning, and then go to sleep, and then I'll probably just wake up like around like 9 or 9:30 tomorrow, 10ish at the latest. Sleep in a little bit. Um, I guess I saw the Marc Jacobs for 8.95. Maybe it was a boutique issue. Yeah, I think it was. I think it does have. I think it was a boutique issue because sometimes like some of the items are just priced really really differently. Like this Troy Birch backpack retails for 328 and it's there for 255, and then you can also use a code. So it just really depends on the item. Um, Left Flame says, "Have you seen many people carry Brandon Blackwood bags?" In the gay community, yes, I've seen a lot of gays and gals wear Brandon Blackwood bags. A lot of gays. I usually see the trunks, like the SYLs and kind of like the bamboo style, the newer style. A lot of those bags, no. I usually see the trunks ones and the ones that say end systemic racism, like that one. I think that's the one that got really popular during COVID. Um, those two bags those are the bags that I see the most, but especially the trunks here in Houston. But as far as the other models, not really. And I see those bags worn more here in Houston and in Austin. When I go out, like for dinner, out and about in Austin, I usually see those more in Austin and here in Houston than in Dallas or even San Antonio or like other cities. But I do see people carry them, but I wouldn't say it's not like I see Coach, I see like Tory, I see like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, obviously more established brands like carried out more, but I have been seeing Brandon Blackwood carried a lot more, even like double within like the last years. Especially at nighttime, I see more Brandon Blackwoods than Telfars. I usually see more Telfars during the day or more casual settings, like at a Starbucks or at the library, the Houston Library, versus like the Brandon Blackwood bags. I see them more at like nighttime occasions, or like because the bags tend to be a little bit more smaller. The Toronto, the Jody with 15% tax is going to be 33. Oh, $3,300 for Jody. That's expensive. That's a lot of money. But I also know that like the dollar's a little bit different, but that's a lot of money. But I think it's worth it. I mean, I love mine. I've had mine for like well over, well, I want to say like 1 2 year, no, like a year and 6 months, and I love it. So I do think it's worth it if you do want to get it. Do you have a dream car? My dream car, I'm not really like a big car person. I just like a car that's reliable. Right now, I drive it like a little Toyota, like I don't know if you call it like a hatchback or like no, a crossover or a SUV. I think it's a crossover. I think that's what I would consider it. And so so my next car after that would definitely be like a Lexus, and then after that maybe like if I were just like if I just had so much disposable income, I would think I would get like the typical like newer reach car, like Mercedes G wagon. Like I feel like that's what everybody would get. But no, I'm really content with my car. I think the next car I get will like be like a Lexus like SUVs. I have always preferred SUVs. I always like to be a little bit lifted. I don't really like smaller cars. My small car was a two door, my first car. I just felt like a little egg. I felt like anything could happen. So I definitely prefer like a little bit elevated cars, but I think probably like a Lexus SUV just because they're really reliable, and they're the same as Toyota, so it's just like a step up. And so I just know that I don't have to worry about it like a Mercedes or BMW. Like those oil changes are not expensive. No, they are expensive, is what I'm trying to say. Versus like Toyota and Lexus are a little bit easier to maintain, and they're a little bit more carefree. Um, can't seem to find my size in 7.5 in Prada logo white sneakers, which prices at Saks for 1,300 plus 15% tax. Um, I would say the Prada shoes have been like sold out. Like I know the fisherman sandals have been sold out in a lot of sizes. Even the Prada loafers, the one that I have, has been kind of out. Like I know a lot of the shoe sizes have been out in Prada. I'm not sure what's going on. Or even that new one where it's like it's plastic and it says Prada and has like a little Prada plaque. That one's also another one that's been kind of out of stock or a little bit more limited. Or like the clogs. Not sure what's happening with Prada or just because they're a little bit more popular, but I have been seeing the Prada shoes not relatively available in a lot of sizes, as usually they're mostly in stock most of the time. Um, hey, Sergio, heard you talk about Margiela fragrances. I like to. How do you like other Margiela stuff? Thanks for hanging around. Uh, videos, dude. Hanging out videos, dude. I like Margiela shoes a lot. Like the classic ones, they kind of remind me of like some Isabel Marant sneakers. I really like them. I do like Mason Margiela clothing, and I like their bags. Their bags is kind of like another thing that I like is just like it's not in your face. Like you have to know what like the numbers are, like everything that's on it. But I would say if I were to get a Margiela, like it's like other than fragrances, I'd probably get the sneakers. And let's see if I can give you the name. I love them. I always see them all the time, and I love them. This one, the Mason Margiela off white and gray replica sneakers. That's the name on them on the Essence website. They're $415. Oh, I love those sneakers. I think that they're so pretty. I love them. Like I always see people wear them. Like I've seen like two people wear them here, and I think they're so pretty. But I like Mason Margiela. It falls into that kind of like not in your face designer branding, but it has like definitely kind of like things that tell that it's Mason Margiela. I do like it, but it's not a brand that I fully have gone around with. But I have, and I've seen their items for flat. Um, let's see. I saw the Saks Monster Gabriel tote, but a simple black tote. I'd rather do the Prada with the triangle logo. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably do the Prada one. I mean, it would feel like whatever you would get and whatever you see value, because if you compromise for another one, at the end of the day, you're gonna want the other item. That's why for me, I kind of stop compromising if I want something. If it's not within my budget or within my means right then and there, then I would just much rather wait and then actually get what I want later on down the road than to kind of suck than to get something less, and then at the end of the day I'm gonna end up buying what I was originally gonna purchase. Um, let's see, the Toy Birch Mini Kiro was 671, like I say, Canadian website, including tax and discount. Farfetch, I couldn't find it anywhere on the new cream color other than the Toy Birch website, but I would be charged for duties there. Oh, so I mean, it did work out though, and that's one thing I do like about um, um, Farfetch is that everything's already included in the price, and I think that's something that I really appreciate it. So I mean, that's good, and I'm happy that you get it. Once you get the bag, definitely DM it to me on Instagram. I definitely want to see it. But you did get. I mean, yeah. I mean, duties is expensive, so you did good. Uh, let's see. Uh, let's see. Uh, Susan Andrews says, "Have you ever gone to an event or dinner alone?" Yes, I always like when like every time I travel. Like I was in Boston. This is probably like I don't do this now, but I wouldn't do this now at all. But like last year when I was in Boston, I went out to dinner by myself because like me and my friend had like different. My friend wanted to be like, she was one of those. It was last minute trip too, and she was like one of the friends that are like stingy, like and like she doesn't like to pay for air flights, and so she like. Um, so she basically what she did was she took a flight from Dallas to Florida to Boston, and it was like Spirit Airlines and everything. So she took forever, like another day basically. And then I'm out here. I took an American flight, and I got into a whole ass car accident going to Boston. My Uber driver got in a car accident, and then I ended up being in Boston for a night, and so I ended up having dinner by myself. I ended up going out by myself. I did not know any single person there, and I ended up making some friends, and some of those people I still talk to like today. Like it's just kind of crazy. I went out on my 21st birthday this year last year alone. I've done a lot of things alone. I don't really mind to like I had pho the other day, like I think 2 weeks ago. I went there, I ordered my food, and I sat there. Um, and I can do it all. Like I can go on trips. I can do things alone. I really don't. I went to London by myself, so for a few days, and I mean, I never had any issues. I kept to myself, like, I had fun, and so I mean, I've done it, and that's just I think that's a really great aspect that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people feel like they have to be with some be with somebody. Now, would I go out in the night of town here in Houston alone going forward? When I first, no, I've never really done it here in Houston, and I never really done it in Dallas. I would do it in cities where I'm just like, or it's like my first time when people don't want to travel, or like flights are kind of like that Boston incident where it's like the next day or two. But I mean, but here I always have like dinners or eat like lunch and stuff by myself. It's yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with it. And dinners, it could be like nicer dinners or it can be casual dinners, or even like sitting at the food court by myself. Like when I worked in Nordstrom, girl, I'm gonna eat my food by myself. And I like it. I mean, you have to at the end of the day you have yourself at the end of the day, so that's the way I see it. Thank you for this wonderful uh, designer live group chat. Sergio, I had a stressful week. Mercy. No, not the spaghetti bag. It's like the puddle bag. I was referring to more of these pouch bags because it seems to be showing up in the designer bags. Oh, not spaghetti bag. Like the puddle bag, like the pouch bags. The pouch bags, I like them, but I would only get them in the woven style, just because in the pouch ones with like the leather ones, they're very easy to kind of like you can get like a yeah like that like those type of bags. It's very easy to replicate those bags. Every brand has them. So for the Bottega one, if I were to get it, I would definitely get them um in a woven one to kind of have more of that distinctive kind of Bottega Veneta heritage look to them versus just a regular pouch one. I probably would not buy a regular pouch from Bottega just because that's something that gets so replicated and so duped from every single brand house. Looking to purchase. Oh, this is always Bell says, looking to purchase my first LV bag, but undecided on what to get from the LV classic bags. What do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think I should get? Baby, I would get honestly the Louis Vuitton Alma, the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis, um, yeah, or Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandolier. I think out of those three, I like. Now, if you get the bandolier, be prepared to buy a base shaper, just because the bag, like the moment you put like something in it, it's literally gonna sag. So I would recommend to buy a base shaper. The Alma, I think it's like my favorite bag from Louis Vuitton. I think it's so classy. I think it's so beautiful, especially the BB size where it has a leather strap. I love that you can get like you can get it hot stamped. I mean, you can get them hot stamped in all the bags. I don't think the push MTs, but I know you can get on the Speedy. You get it hot stamped. It has a little clichet. Like I love the handles on it. I love the feet at the bottom. I love how sturdy that bag is. It has a leather bottom. I think it's so luxurious. And if you don't want to do the BB, you can also get it in the next size up. The Louis Vuitton Alma. That's such a beautiful bag. I love the bag. That's a bag that if I were to get one Louis Vuitton bag today, if I were to pick one, that's what I would pick, the Louis Vuitton Alma. And also the Pochette Métis. It's just very easy. You can carry it as a little top handle, crossbody, shoulder bag, super versatile. You can really, really make it what you want it to be. And so for me, those are the bags that I would recommend to get from the LV range. What are your thoughts about Coach's brand and longevity? Do you think can you do a video where you rank handbags from best to low quality? I want to do one for Coach where I rank them kind of like my favorite lines. But I would say Coach has really a lot of nice lines right now, like a lot of nice lines. Like I was looking at the store the other day, and they have a lot of pretty bags that are out in the market. But I think I should do. I think I will do one kind of like my favorite nylon bags under $500, best to worst, and put like Toy Birch, MZ Wallace, Longshot, all those brands in a video and kind of talk about all of them. But yeah, I kind of want to get more into like more core handbag videos as well. But I think Coach's brand, it's been established since 1941. So, I mean, if they're almost like a 80-year-old company or 80 some odd years in a company, then I feel like they're doing something right. It's one of the most recognizable American brands in fashion in the world. So, and the C monogram, for the most part, people do know what it is. Um, and I like it. So, I mean, I think they've been doing a lot of great things, especially within the last few months. But I will be doing kind of like a ranking video. But I feel like for like maybe for like a brand, maybe like I wouldn't put maybe not low quality, pretty like my least to my favorite to non-favorite, just because like for Coach, I kind of like everything that they have. Uh, Oi, hi Sergio, what are your thoughts on the Tory Burch Lee Roswell? Love that bag. That's the next bag that I'm gonna add. I recently added a Coach Lee Roswell boot into my collection. I ordered them, and so now I'm very, 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 very excited to add a Lee Roswell. I feel like I have a little bit of everything. I have like an Eleanor, I have a T monogram, I have like uh, a Perry. I have so many variations of bags, and so for me, I finally feel like a Lee Roswell is finally overdue. That's the only bag that in Toy Birch's line that I don't have, and it happens to be the most expensive one as well. So you'll see me probably have that bag very, very, very soon on the channel, just because I already have the boots for them, so I want to have the matching bag. But I do love the classically Roswell. I will say that the leather is pretty soft, so you have to be a little bit careful about how you wear them. But I do really, really like the Lee Roswell. Um, Yasis Delgado says, Prada Maltese sports sandals or the Royal Fisherman sandals. Let's put the uh, let's let's look at the Prada Maltese sandals just so I'm exactly knowing which ones they are. Oh, I'd probably do the row fisherman sandals, to be honest. I prefer the row fisherman. I think that they're very, very clean. I think that's a little bit more stylish. I find that it's a little bit more coated. It's a little bit more discreet. I mean, I love my row sandals. I'm gonna get so much wear on the Ginza ones. I have them both right here. I'd probably go for the row versus the Prada, just because you're not going to see a lot of people with the row ones, and I think row shoes are made very, very, very well. Um, let's see. Hola, Sergio. I'm a newbie to your channel, learning so much from you and all these different brands. What do you think about the new Disney Coach stuff? Oh, I love it. I believe it came out like 2 days ago. I saw it all out. I like the little jacquard like card case that has a little castle on it. I think that it's super, super cute. Um, and they have the little pochette. It is a little bit more pricey than like the typical kind of like Coach price points, but a lot of things are selling out. Like I like the little swinger in the jacquard. I love the Rogue 25. That's 875. Like yeah, the Rogue is usually going to be the most expensive line, so doesn't surprise me that that's 875. But I do, I think it's super cute. Oh, they have so much stuff. I haven't even looked at it. I saw videos of it like online, but I'm just not seeing. Oh, they even have a cute Coach mug. It's $35. That's actually really pretty. If I were to get one item from this collection, I'd do the card case with the castle on it. I think that's super cute. And I love, love, love the Rogue 25 in it. I think it's really nice. And I think sometimes certain things can look super juvenile, like super Disney-ish. I find that this one, obviously it's Disney, so it is gonna look a little juvenile, but I feel like this one was done a little bit tastefully than I've seen other Disney collabs in the past, or let's say like Disney Star Wars with Coach. Like I've seen it, but I would say this Disney collection this time around with Coach, I thought it was done very, very tastefully. So I do like it, and especially the card case and the Rogue 25, I do like it. I'd probably skip on the ready to wear, except maybe if it's a hoodie that doesn't have the same monogram. But I do really, really like it, and the swinger bag is really, really cute too. Um, let's see. What do you think about purchasing items from the Real Real site? The Real Real site, I've never purchased from the Real Real. Maybe like a long time ago. It just depends. Like I find that certain things are a little overpriced, a little over retail. I feel like certain things are not worth it. But I know a lot of people love to shop at the Real Real, and they always have a lot of good luck shopping there. I should probably get into shopping there. The only website that I really buy pre-love is usually Fashion File and Fashion File and Poshmark. But I do like, I mean, I have like, when I have to look and reference prices on things, I do go on the Real Real website. I think they do really good sales, but a lot of the items, like when they first come there, I don't think that they're worth it. I think a lot of the items are a little bit more expensive. And I've been to the store in Austin like 2 times, and I don't know. I always feel like some of the items are like extremely overpriced for what they are. I feel like I can get a better deal somewhere else, or just even googling, searching it, and finding it like on Poshmark or eBay. But it really depends what the item is though too. B, Izzard says, I'm thinking going on solo dates or vacations are positive things to do. I agree that it's not the, it's not the thing I want to do all the time, but it's refreshing to spend time alone with ourselves. Yes, I think everybody needs time alone. Like, I definitely love my time alone. I definitely like living alone. This is why I cannot live with roommates. I like, if I lived with roommates and let's say like my roommate had like people in and out all the time, like I would just not feel comfortable. I feel like I would be at home. I couldn't be walking in a robe. I couldn't be walking in, I just couldn't be like comfortable. You know what I mean? So I think just being by myself, driving by myself, like driving to Dallas was like 3.5, 4 hour drive. Like I think that's like very calming to me. While listening to like a podcast or like even the silence. Um, I um, I just feel like going out by yourself. Like I just feel like it's really, really good, and it does you good. Like I always love a good company, but at the end of the day, I always kind of prefer to do things myself. But that's also me. Like I'm in my early 20s, and I love my friends, I love my family, but I prefer to. I don't know. I've always been. I like to do things like sometimes it's like the stubbornness in me. I feel like it's either my way or nobody's way. So I just rather do things my way, and if that means it's by myself, then I guess it's by myself, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Naomi says, I'm from Boston and I'm planning to move to Dallas. Um, How would you compare the two cities? I've been to Dallas and I loved it, but I'm nervous. I'll miss the city. Oh, I love Boston. I feel like you're gonna miss Boston. I feel like Boston is very like prestige. Like I feel like it's very clean. I feel super safe. Like I feel so safe in Boston. Like I can walk like at 3 in the morning, and I'm just like living the fantasy. I know that the Chanel store got broken into like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I just feel so safe. I love Boston. I love the people. Like I love Boston. I just felt so safe. I feel like it's definitely going to be a change from the city because in Dallas, I feel like in Boston, you kind of get away with like if you live in Central, you kind of get away with not having a car because like walking distance, everything wasn't too far from each other, especially like the hotel that I was staying at. Everything was pretty much a walking distance versus Dallas. You have to drive everywhere. There's a little bit more traffic. By far, I did not go out. I didn't venture out into this like out into the suburbs. I was more into the city, but I love Boston. Like, but Boston is very expensive to live. I was like, should I move to Boston? This is before I got a lease in Houston, but I would say, um, I don't know. I would say my advice to you, as far as comparing them, is definitely Dallas is more of a driving city. It's nowhere near like a walking city. I find that people in Boston have a little bit more sense of charm, a little bit more sense of character. I don't know. People in Boston were really, really friendly. I didn't come across with anybody that was rude or mean, and I just love how like. I don't know. People took pride in what they were wearing. Like I didn't see anybody wear scandalous or like weird or like everybody was very prestige. Everybody was even like walking down the street on like on a busy Sunday, everybody was just like beautiful. Like I just love the city like so much. So I mean, I don't know. I love Boston. I would love to live there, and so I think Boston's more prettier than New York, if you ask me. But I would definitely say, um, I'd pick Boston over Dallas. But I mean, Dallas as a whole, yeehaw by itself. But uh, Boston is definitely a little bit more, but Dallas is a nice city. It's very beautiful depending on the area. If you're living more like in Dallas, Plano, Frisco, kind of like more of those type of suburbs, Allen, McKinney, then it'll be like a nice suburb city, South Lake, Grapevine, um, Trophy Club, those type of cities. But I don't know. It's definitely a culture change as well. The people in the South are like way more different than in Boston. I feel like in Boston, people were just like I don't know. I feel like everybody had class in a sense. I don't know. It was something that was definitely shocking because coming from somebody like when has been to other cities, I was just shocked how like beautiful the city of Boston is. Um, Let's see. Hi, Sergio. What would be a good crossbody to run errands with? I would say Tory Burch Walker is still a favorite that I have. Any of the pulling bags I am in love and I am obsessed with. And a Prada nylon with a crossbody strap also never does you wrong. And those are some of my favorite ones. Are Marc Jacobs J Link, a tote bag from Marc Jacobs, a Telfar medium shopper tote. I don't think those are some of my favorite ones to run errands just because they're very carefree. They're very for the girl on the go, and I love them. Will you be getting the Coach Pillow Madison? I think I am. I saw it on TikTok. I've been obsessed with TikTok, and I saw it, and I saw the beautiful blue color, and I was like, "Oh my God, Sergio! Oh my God, Sergio! You want everything at this point." And I saw it, and I was like, "Damn!" And then I started going through the Coach website, like, well, now I want this bag, and I want this. There's literally like 5 or 6 Coach bags that I literally want on my list. I think they're so pretty. I think they're so nice. I'm like, at this point, should I get a part time at Coach? Should I get a part time at Coach so I can get their employee discount, which I think is 60% off, just so I can literally buy all these bags? I literally strongly considered that, and I know I would get the job. Well, I know any retail job I would get the job. Like, I always get offered to like a lot of the stores that I shop at. I always get offered to work at a lot of the stores. Like every time I go into a retailer, like you want a job here, or like certain stores are like, well, Sergio, if you ever want a job here, just know that we will welcome you. I'm like, well, not Coach. Coach has not offered it, but I'm like, girl, I love Coach a lot, but uh, Coach, please take all my money. Please, please take it. I love Coach. Melissa McCross says, "Are the girls still buying the product re-edition?" Yeah, yeah, it's still selling. I still see people. A lot of people here in Houston wear it. I think still worth it. I think the crossbody one is definitely worth it a little bit more than the top handle. but I think it's still popular, and it's not a bag that, especially like the ones that don't have the crossbody, that's still like $1,000. I think that's a really great price point. But yeah, the girls are still buying the Prada re-edition, and I think it's still going to be going strong, especially as Prada is still growing as a designer brand. It's always popular, but I feel like this new generation of Prada is like out the roof, and I think this new generation of Miu Miu is kind of going up towards there as well. Vinny says, "Love your videos. Thank you so much." Um, Thanks, Sergio. Yes, I'll focus on what I love, and if I don't love it, I'll wait to afford it, whatever the next one is. Um, yes, I always feel like, uh, I always feel like, don't settle for less, because at the end of the day, you're gonna end up getting what you wanted, or you're gonna feel like you wanted something. So for me, I always buy what I love, and I don't necessarily compromise, and that's just me. Victor says, "Hi, I'm a vintage seller from Africa, looking for a partner." You can email me. My email is sergiostudios@gmail.com. Bell says, "Have you ever considered purchasing a pre-loved luxury bag online sellers from Japan? I see a lot of them from Facebook." I have thought about it, and I know like back in the day, like those OG YouTube days, I remember people buying them like from eBay, like those Japanese sellers, and I've seen like YouTube videos where they buy them. I mean, obviously Japan has very strict laws on replicas. Japan is a very respectable country, and Japan takes their designer items very seriously. So I know some people are kind of afraid from buying from Japan. I'll be more afraid from buying it maybe from like Korea, or like China, or like cities like countries like that, versus Japan, just because I know Japan has very strict laws on replica items. It's one of the countries that have very strict laws on replica items in general. So I would feel comfortable buying a bag from Japan. Obviously, I may get it authenticated, or I can authenticate it myself, but I have considered it, especially from eBay. Do you recommend them scarves like Alexander McQueen scarves, or do you recommend other designer? I still like a good Alexander McQueen scarf. I know they peaked a little bit, but I find that McQueen's kind of coming back again, especially with the McQueen sneakers. Some of the McQueen bags, like the Story, have been doing pretty well for the brand. So I always love the McQueen scarf, the skull one, like the chiffon kind of material one, and I can definitely see myself adding one in the near future. I do like them a lot. Um, Giselle G says, "I'm moving to California later this year, and I'll be living by myself very soon. I could relate to what you said about having your own time. Yes, like having your own time. It's just like there's just nothing like it. Like I just like after the live stream, I can like do whatever I want. I can call whoever I want. I can do whatever I want. I even like growing up, I always been independent. I didn't really have like a lot of friends. Yes, I like bullying, all that played a factor, but some of the times it was also me like I want to graduate early. I just didn't. I just like my alone time, and I can be very interactive. I can be very chatty. I can talk a lot, but I can also be very independent. I can do things myself. I can go on trips. I can take things like I can do things myself, and I think that's something that a lot of people take a lot of time to self develop those type of characteristics, or like self development. But it's something that from a young age, that's something that's always been me, and that's something that I can always say. But alone time's always great, and I always tell people, if you cannot be alone within yourself for like more than 12 or 24 hours, then you need to check yourself. I feel like you should try being alone for 24 hours without like obviously maybe like texting or calling somebody, but like just like by yourself, and see how you feel, and see how you feel on the inside. Because for me, I'm like totally fine. I'm like, yeah, girl, like I'm looking at myself in the mirror, whatever, and I look good. There's a mirror right there. But yeah, there's nothing like alone time. I miss Burberry nostalgic pre 2019. Oh yeah, I remember when they were doing the change. Actually, my Nordstrom had a lot of Burberry. It was one of the top vendors, but they put it out to become more prestige. As the years have been gone by, Burberry has become more and more prestige, lining up with a lot more of the designer brands. But I do miss pre Burberry. Those are some of the great days. And Burberry has gotten really expensive within the last couple of years, and also as Montclair. Um, Left Limb says, "Who are some of your personal fashion style influences that have the greatest impact on how you dress today?" Um, uh, who are I would say Rosie Huntington Whiteley is probably my number one. Anything that she has, I definitely want to wear. I definitely want to buy. She's somebody that if she wears it, I kind of want it. I would say that's probably like the only person. I find like a lot of people like are just not like, I don't know, uh I don't know. I'm just like, I'm gonna go on my Instagram. I usually just say like, this is another one too. She's a stylist, and she like is Megan's Fox stylist, and I like the way she dresses. I think that she recommends. My V Riley, I think that's her name. I may have mispronounced that. Like I said, Rosie Hinton Whiteley. I also like this account too. Amy Jackson, Fashion Jackson. She's a little bit more on the simple side. Emma Hill's also another one that I really like. Um, those are some of my people that I love that I get kind of fashion inspo from. But honestly, it's like all those like little European accounts, like with the girls with like their little coffee and the perfectly hair and their little small handbags. Like those are some of the styles that I like. I love that very kind of clean European style. Even though I do dress in different outfits, I can dress in guys' clothes, I can dress in vaquero, I can dress in different variations. But I would say at the end of the day, I feel like I prefer more of that cleaner style that kind of even reflects like the row of clothes that I have behind me. But I'll say Rosie Huntington Whiteley is probably my number one fashion inspiration, if you ask me. How do you feel about Perry Aces? How do you feel about the Real Real? I think I was sent a dupe. Well, you can send me a DM on Instagram, and I can probably tell you if it's real or fake. Um, I don't know. I mean, in that case, I would buy it. I would pay for it with a credit card, and if it's fake, then and I would tell them, and if they don't, then I would just do a chargeback in that sense. But I mean, that always happens, and that happens even with like I've talked to fashion file ladies, like I've talked to people that work in eBay and like all these like resale websites. It happens everywhere, even in consignment stores. Out of every 10,000 items, you mean to tell me that every item was authentic? No. There has been fake items on every single website. Even department stores get fake returns. It just happens. It's part of the game, and it sucks when it really. I feel like the only way where it really doesn't happen if you buy it from the actual boutique, not even department store, from the actual boutique. I've been to Neiman's and saw a fake Valentino bag on the floor, and I had to point it out. So you just kind of have to, it kind of comes with the territory as designer handbags are trying to be, as fake designer handbags are trying to be normalized, and people don't have great intentions. It's just going to keep on happening. Uh, Real Real is not the only one that's had it. It's been many websites have had it. Even the ones that you think are the most safest ones have had at least a couple slip ups before. But we're all human. We're not perfect. Ralph says thoughts on the Coach Swinger bag. Love it. We were literally just talking about the Disney one. The Disney one is super cute. It's like a fun take on a little bit of a push-up bag. I would definitely get the larger one versus the smaller one. I find that the small one is a little bit too small, and I find that the larger one is a little bit more of the perfect size. Okay, peeping. I see a little bear thing in the background. Show and tell, please. So, so here, so the item. So, um, this is. Oh my God. This is my backpack, my Tory Burch backpack, and this is a bear when I went to London, and this is my Harrods bear. I kept it on here kind of for good luck, and I think it's super cute. I really like it, and I kind of adds a little bit of fun with character. It has a little bit of a fun twist towards it, and so that's why I kind of keep it here. But yeah, this is a little bear that I have on there. Um, backpack. Let's see. How do you feel about YSL wristlet and black and silver? Ooh, love it. I mean, black and silver, you cannot get any more classic for YSL or black or gold. I do like the wristlets. I like the larger ones. I think they're super cute. Even if it's in the softer leather, the soft leather doesn't get scratched as easily. It actually holds up pretty well. And then obviously the grain leather is also pretty good as well. But I'm here for them. I love them. Um, but I do like the YSL wristlets, and I find that they're coming out with more wristlets as the seasons progresses. Perry Aces, have you also seen that LV monogram on their bags are rubbing off? How do you feel about the drop on in quality? Yes, I've seen videos and I've been sent videos of like, especially like the Louis Vuitton Artsy. Somebody sent me how like what they should do about it. I just feel like the quality has definitely just not been the same for the last I've been in YouTube for such a long time, and I was kind of more into like the beauty guru, and then I kind of went towards more this space. Um, but I remember, ever since I feel like ever since they changed the packaging, like how they used to have like that dark brown packaging with their boxes and shopping bags. Like maybe if you, I think prior 2015, I think those were like the good Louis Vuitton days, where you can be a Louis Vuitton enthusiastic, you can love the brand, and that was when I love the brand. And once they started changing into the orange packaging, and they opened that factory here in Texas, I find that that's when a lot of things kind of went south. And people try to come down like Louis Vuitton's such a prestige bag, like you're shitting on it because you can't afford it. You're such a hater. You hate Louis Vuitton, but you like Goyard and Gucci monogram. I just feel like for me the quality is shit. I'm gonna be honest. And so I would much rather buy pre-loved Louis Vuitton, but even then, there's other brands I would prefer. But the quality of Louis Vuitton has not been the same since 2015. Even when I bought my multi-pochette accessories 2 years ago, in the back, the monogram had like a spot on it, and Louis Vuitton said they would replace it. But ever since, but they called me. They said, "Well, when we got one in stock," they never called me. They never checked up on me. I just feel like the customer service is pretty poor, and also you give, I think, 0.01 or 0.1% on all canvas sales. And so like I just feel like they're kind of greedy in a sense. I feel like you should pay a nice commission to your employees. It makes them love the brand more, makes them be more loyal to you. But I just feel like the pay that they get for selling these overpriced crappy bags, not really it. And I stand behind everything I say too. I'm never somebody that's gonna like sugarcoat things. I just feel like it's not, like I said, there are a few bags that I still think it's worth it. Like I do like the alma, I do like the cappuccines, but I don't know. I feel like it's coming less of reality for me, and I'm going towards more other brands. Do you wear any fragrance in cologne? Tom Ford Ombre Leather, my signature night scent, Byredo Black Saffron, Byredo Bibliotech, and I've kind of been into my Victor Ralph Spice Bomb. I'm about to actually finish that bottle, but I've been into it recently, and I'm about to finish that bottle. And then there's this new little Hermes fragrance that I got, like a little sample of it, and I don't know the name of it, but I have to find the little vial. But I've been into that one as well. Um, City Sense of the World says, Hola Sergio, recently gravitated towards JW Anderson, Capone, and Mason Margiela bags. Any thoughts of these brands? Do you have any suggestions and recommendations? I've been addicted to watching you. My Corpenny, I don't know how to say it. That bag that I've been using a lot, the little black one, I love so much. I get so many compliments every time I wear it. I think it's so cute. I think that it's so different. I love that bag. Um, I love it. Like that brand, I didn't know how like popular it was, like how popular it's getting. And so I kind of saw it in the fashion week, and I said, damn, their clothes are actually nice. Like I would wear them. Usually sometimes with certain handbag brands, I may just like their accessories and not their clothes. But I really love their clothes. With JW Anderson, since he is a creative director of Loewe, I do like a lot of the current kind of the newer JW Anderson, like the shoes with the little chunky chain on it, and a lot of their ready to wear. I do like JW Anderson a lot, and Mason Margiela is not a brand that I've gotten into a lot, but like I said, in tomorrow's video, you'll see me explain how I'm trying to get away from like the Gucci's, those type of brands, like the Chanel's and the Louis Vuittons of the world. I'm trying to go more towards more different brands that kind of create more of my personal style, and those are some of the brands that are up my alley. Um, but the Capeni one is the one that I personally have had experience with recently, and it's a brand that I really like, and it's a brand that I definitely can see myself purchasing more from in the near future. Um, but yes, those brands are nice. But you'll see me talk about like a lot more different brands on the channel than like the typical brands that you see on the that a lot of other channels talk about. What do you think about Tumi luggage? I know you have Ramova. I just don't like the style. Oh, I love Tumi luggages. When I worked at Nordstrom, I would love to sell Tumi luggages. It never got returned, and people love it, especially like a lot of businessmen. Oh my god, they would love it and never got returned, never came back. I love Tumi luggages. Tumi's known for great quality travel items, so I'm gonna be here for it. And I know I'm more of a Ramova girl. I have three of them, but I also like Tumi a lot. I think Tumi is very respectable and the luggage field, and I think that their luggages are pretty well. And you can actually sometimes from time to time find really great deals on them. But yeah, I do like them, and I don't have anything bad to say. Actually have a Tumi nylon bag, and I actually got that. Somebody had asked me earlier like my thrifting days, and I bought that bag like for $2 brand new with tags, and I still have it after all these years. I have it, and I still use it. So I mean, that bag, I washed it and everything. It still looks brand new. It's called the just in case tote, where it's like foldable, just like a longshot. Ralph says quality on Coach's ready to wear. I think Coach's ready to wear is really well made. I will say it does go on at 70% off at the end of the season, so not sure if I would pay full retail for some of the quirky items, but Coach's ready to wear, it's well made. I've never heard or seen or even felt that it was bad quality. Um, I like the Troy Birch bags. I also like the setup of the clothes behind you. Oh yeah, this rack is from Target. I bought it many years ago, and I just kind of keep the clothes that I do for videos or some of the clothes I've been kind of obsessed with. And then in the closet, one side of the closet has all the winter clothes, and then here it just has fitness clothes, and then over here it just has like the bottom has like blazers that I'm or like sets that I'm not using a lot, and the top I just have a bunch of tops. So here I just have the clothes that I'm kind of reaching for a little bit more lately, but it doesn't mean that I don't reach for the items in the closet. Um, I bought a mini nylon handbag, the new resale for 605. I do think it's a good investment. I bought a mini nylon handbag, the new release for 675. What brand love? Are you talking about the Prada one? Um, I'm not sure what brand you're talking about. Let me know what brand you're talking about, love. Um, I just bought a LB Duffel 55, and the lady helping me out was telling me that they stopped doing the number tag and actually started doing chips that only their devices can prevent to read dupes. It's shit, pinche canvas sucks. Pero ya voy asuante todo buchón when I travel. Oh, yeah. So now, hacen los chips. So now every bag that you have, they have a chip so they can scan it. But let me tell you the real reason why they did that. They did not do that to prevent like fraudulent. They did that to prevent theft, and they did that to prevent things like that from happening. Especially, there's been a lot of like robberies. There's been a lot of things. So, let's say like I go in and like I go into Louis Vuitton Chanel store and I rob their bags, and so I have all these bags, right? And let's say I try to resell them to like Fashion File or like the Real, or let's say I kind of give it away, and let's say like um I have the bag, and let's say like over time, like I buy it pre-loved, and let's say the zipper pull falls off and I take it to store, it's gonna be reported as stolen. So I think it's just another way to track where their handbags go after the point of sale, and also what happens if it's stolen merchandise. And so I think that's why they're doing it, just because we're kind of going into a world where we're getting normalized with a lot
I
of
can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
that kind of scared me, but okay. I feel like we're just going into a world where things are just becoming a lot more shittier and shittier. So that's just another thing that they did to protect their assets, if you ask me. Like yesterday, I think they arrested two people, and then they released Beverly Hills Louis Vuitton to do a whole like grab and run. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like it. I mean, I think it's great for them, but I don't know. It is what it is. But for the Chanel ones, I know they just do them on the classic flaps as of now. Their fashion handbags not as much, but I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the world that we're going in. Pero, I mean, that's todo buchón, that you are right. Pero, I mean, if you're going to use it for travel, I mean, it's not going to get as much wear on it. So I don't think you have to worry about that. Um, what tote bag for spring can I carry with me along with my new mini Jody in black? Um, tote bag in spring. Why not get the Bottega Veneta Acro tote? I love my Acro tote so much. I get so much wear on it, a lot, and it's one of my favorite bags in my collection. Underrated bag brand to look for. Elias, I feel like is on the come up a lot. Uh, I find that Alaya bags have just been a lot more popular. I find that Ferragamo bags are more popular as well. Fashion File recently added Telfar and Salvatore Ferragamo bags into the portfolio of handbags, and so that Caperni brand, the one with like the little egg, is a brand that I've been loving a lot. What else? Pinko has been a brand that I've been loving. That's new. There's just like those are some of the brands that I've been kind of looking for and that I've been kind of wanting to add more. Those are some of the few underrated handbag brands that I've been loving. But I would say definitely Alaya is the one that I feel like is really gonna pop off within the next few seasons, if you ask me. And I also feel like the Fendi Spy bag is gonna come back in style. I think Rihanna was seen carrying one not too long ago. Um, Yo, I know you like Star Wars. I think you should check out the Comme des Garçons Star Wars stuff. Or is that too geeky? I don't know. I find that sometimes I find that me liking Star Wars is a little bit too geeky. But I don't know. For me, uh, I don't know. I don't know. It's not that I don't feel like it's too geeky. I just feel like I feel like it may come across as like too juvenile. But I don't know. I love Star Wars though. I'm a big Star Wars fans. But I don't know. I think Star Wars is very like it's a very conversation starter. Like, oh, when I tell people like I like my favorite artist is like Eminem. My favorite. I actually like to play baseball. Like I like Star Wars. Like people usually shock. Like people usually expect different responses from me. Or, but I don't know. Maybe I should look into it because if I can wear like a band shirt, I definitely can wear a Star Wars. Oh, my debit card is actually a BB-8 unit. Um, on my debit card, my Chase debit card. So, man, if I have it, if my debit card, my form of cash is a Star Wars card, then I don't see why not a shirt or something. I didn't even know they had a collab, so I'm gonna look into it. Thank you so much. But yeah, thank you so much. Lastly, Jack Moose and Stella McCartney. I totally agree what you mentioned of skipping some luxury brands. Gucci. I'm literally yes. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to go into other brands. Stella McCartney, I love. I feel like Texas people don't love Stella. There used to be a store in River Oaks District. There used to be one in Highland Park. They took them out. I feel like people love their meat here in Texas. But you can still buy the Stella McCartney bags through like Neiman's and Saks. But I mean, I love Stella McCartney. I have a few of their clothing pieces, and it's really great quality. And Jacquemus is another brand that I love. It's respectable. I think it's new. It's fresh. It's a fun take on some of the other brands that are a little bit more established. I kind of like mid to newer brands and a little bit more of the heritage brands. But Jacquemus I love. Jacquemus has always given me summer vibes though. And Stella McCartney has always given me year-round vibes though. But I do like the clothing and the accessories from both of the brands. Do no way, but that makes total sense. I'm glad you're really knowledgeable. Things like that. Low key, she wasn't much help. She lacked knowledge, and a lot of her replies were, "Oh, I'm not sure." She was probably new, and they probably just threw her out there. And that's why I feel like with Louis Vuitton, like I feel like their turnover rate is so crazy. Like I've had friends, and I still have friends that work for Louis Vuitton, like their little offices in Irving, in Texas, and girl, I hear nothing but awful things about it. Like I just never heard great things about it. So I don't know. I just don't like brands that don't take care of their employees, and I've seen that hand on hand with a lot of my friends. Literally get stressed out for working for a handbag brand, and that's kind of reflective too. I like the environment, the store, how they treat their employees, and the actual product and the price point of it. I think for me that's something that I consider when putting my dollar towards a brand. I don't go where I'm not wanted, and I also don't go where somebody doesn't know how to sell me a bag that's over $2,000 or $3,000. Stephanie, oh, I see what you there, Stephanie. Funny. Have you used any waterproof protecting sprays on any of your bags to help with color transfer? No, I have not, but I do use a leather conditioner that I bought from Target. Just like go in the shoe section, use leather conditioner, and I use it for like my shoes and stuff to give it a nice polish. And this goes for like any colored bag. And then I've low-key used like Magic Eraser and Mr. Clean Edition, and everything kind of comes off of it. But I never really have a lot of. I usually make sure my jeans have been washed like 2 or 3 times before I wear them with a white handbag or with a colored handbag, and I find that I never really have to deal with a lot of color transfer issues. Um, Nancy Martinez says, "I'm looking for. I mean, how do you feel? Um, how do you feel that you no longer work in luxury retail? And do you miss anything? I miss the interaction with clients. Honestly, I just even though essentially I do the same thing online via YouTube channel, I just miss the interaction. Like I miss like the selling an item. I miss like the interactions. Like I miss the interactions with like complete strangers or like somebody not knowing about handbags. Like husband not knowing what to buy his wife, or like a teenager buying a gift for their mom, like, or just like someone wanting to buy a handbag, or other handbag enthusiasts. Like, I miss that so much. And I don't know, that's the only aspects that I miss. Obviously, like a discount. As far as like coworkers, I mean, or management, through like my prescript my point of view, I had favoritism, so I was treated well way more than a lot of other coworkers, and I can say that for a fact. Like, even if I felt like if I went back to retail, I feel like I would always be kind of like the favoritism one, just because I have a channel. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm very enthusiastic. Like, some people see, retail like as a job, like just as a job. I say more like as like a passion for me. So, you know, I always kind of got the better end of the stick in situations like that. But I do miss it, and I have thought about going back like part time, just because I crave like the I just crave the interactions with clients a lot. Like, I just miss that so much. Like, I feel like we're here. I kind of keep with the same group of people, but I also remember a lot of my friends came from people that were my clients. So some of my greatest friends that I met were people that were buying Troy Birch and, St. Laurent handbags, or selling them shoes or ready to wear. So those were some of my greatest friends that I still have to this day. Like, one of my favorite blogger friends, Luxa Blue. She's uh, one of my favorite blogger friends, and I met her through Nordstrom. She was my customer before we became friends, and we get along really, really well. And I really appreciate her, and I love her fashion style and advice, and we give advice to each other. So I do miss all those kind of, and I also got like a lot of connections working there, and so I didn't. That's something that I do miss. I love your lives on YouTube. We missed you last week. Oh yes, I was in Dallas last week. That's the only reason why. At this time, I was buying cowboy boots. I was literally there. I was about to kick us out of Cabineters. What's the best men's fragrance? La Home by Saint Laurent, Yves Saint Laurent, and Spice Bomb by Victor and Rolf. And I also really like um, Tom Ford Ombre Leather and Tom Ford Noir. Those are some of my favorite ones that I currently have that I get a lot of compliments on. I'm looking for a tan men's driver. Any suggestions? I would go to Todd's for driver shoes. I think Todd's do really, really good shoes in general. And Ferragamo, I saw a video where like they certain shoes on the Ferragamo, you can flip the buckle to like gold and silver, which I thought was pretty cool. So I would check Ferragamo and Todd's. I think they really make really great ones compared to like Gucci or like Prada or other brands that are out in the market. Hey Boo, how are you doing? Any coach purchases lately? I have not made any coach purchases lately. I have made I made toy purchases last week, but the next contemporary handbag brand purchase definitely is the Coach. It's like way overdue. I've done other brands, but I have not done a Coach purchase lately. So I will do one very, 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 very soon. And yes, Fui Accordion, I felt so welcome there, and the stores were so nice. I actually bought something there. Yes, everything is just depends the social she and the attitude and everything. Like, if I go in there and I'm not feeling the vibe, I'm just like, girl, I'm especially here in the Houston Galleria, like I the same thing that I can buy at Saks, I can buy at Neiman's and Nordstrom, or I can buy it from the boutique. Like, let's say if I'm buying a YSL bag, you're giving me shitty service at Saks, I'm gonna walk my happy ass to the Saint Laurent store, shitty service, walk my ass to Neiman Marcus, and maybe they'll send me the bag right then and there with nice customer service. So nice customer service and product knowledge really goes a long way, especially for to making a client be long term and to become loyal to you, and also just enthusiastic, and it makes things experience really, really well. Ralph says, "How does the toy jewelry hold up over time? What is the best brand of pearl necklaces?" I think Lagos makes really great, authentic like pearl necklace. I've had mine for like 2 years now, or maybe a year and a half, and it's holding up really well, no issues at all. And it's not imitation; it's real pearls. And Tory Burch jewelry does hold up over time. Even the gold and everything holds up really, really well. So I do recommend it. And then um, TD says, "What do you recommend for someone to get as their first designer items in their closet?" Definitely a everyday either handbag or tote that is functional for their lifestyle. A signature fragrance, a pair of sunglasses, a wallet because everybody has to carry some sort of currency, and maybe like a piece of jewelry. I think those are the 5 things that I would recommend. But probably a card case or like a wallet, because you need to pay for things. So that's something you get so much wear out of. So that's what I would recommend. But yeah, guys, that seems to be the last question, you guys. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream here. I want to say thank you so much for everybody for joining. Next Friday, I will be in town, so definitely be for the live stream next Friday. So be prepared for that. Thank you so much. As anything, if you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, you can leave them. You can DM me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. And especially since usually when I do live streams, I'm usually a little bit on my DMs a little bit more. So if you do have any questions, just DM me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my TikTok. It's been popping recently. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully you guys have a great evening. And I appreciate you guys all. I'll enter this last one. A good everyday backpack. The Prada nylon, I really like. I like the Tory Burch nylon one that I have. And those are the ones that I kind of come across. My Dagny Dover Landon backpack. No, my Dakota backpack is really well as well. Those are some of my favorite ones that I have and that I use a lot and that I always get compliments on. Off the topic, what's your diet? My diet consists of a lot of greens, a lot of grains, and not a lot of whole processed foods. And drinking a lot of water and not drinking like a lot of sugary drinks. Coffee and maybe like a Red Bull here and there, yes, but like sodas and stuff, I really cut down on that. Someone said, I don't think we want you to leave. I know, but I can already see my friend. I threw my phone on the floor, but I can already see my friends already calling me. So I do have to go, but I will be here next Friday, guys. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and log off, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.